The Philippine automotive industry is changing. Sure, the big players are still there. But there's no denying that the shift is already here. And with fuel prices being this high, it's no longer just about heritage or legacy. It's all about tech, efficiency, and value. And with cars, just like the GAC AION V, finally, the big winners are not car brands anymore, it's me new.
Before we start with the review, it's worth knowing where this car comes from. GAC, which is based in Guangzhou, China, has been building cars for over 3 decades and has worked alongside global brands like Toyota and Honda. Locally, you've seen models like the MSUM, the GS8, MQ, and the MPOW. Globally, GAC operates multiple brands, with AION and Hypetech being their EV arms. Today we'll be focusing on the AION V, and then on our next video we'll be focusing on Hypetech, so make sure that you're subscribed.
Alright, let me give you a walkthrough of the GAC AION V. First off is of course its most obvious design. It's boxy but curvy on the edges. GAC says that this is heavily inspired by the fiercest dinosaur out there, the T-Rex. We see here our Cyber Dragon claw-like LED headlights and taillights. When we move to the side, size-wise, it's very typical of a family crossover. I do like the two-tone color of this premium variant. I love that roof. Then we have this nicely spaced out roof railings that are not just for show, that are actually useful. We have the hidden door handles. We have 171 millimeters of ground clearance, and unlike a lot of manufacturers that use wheel covers, the 19-inch 8-spoke alloys of the GAC AION V are proudly displayed.
Now, of course, the AION V is a full electric vehicle which is available in 2 variants, the Premium and the Elite. Both are available in AC/DC charging and V2L function, with the Elite variant having a NEDC range of 504 kilometers and the Premium variant up to 603 kilometers. Comparing this to its local competitors like the BYD Atto 3 and the Geely EX5, the AION V offers one of the longest ranges in its segment.
Check out the design of the GAC AION V from the back. You gotta love that GAC engineers went with this design language, this very boxy layout. It's so much more refreshing compared to the competition. Naturally, the GAC AION V, you have an automatic tailgate. As you can see, we were able to load a ton of stuff there. But the great thing about this is there's multiple configurations that you can do. For example, you can lower down the cover there to maximize all of the space. Or for example, you're loading into items which have, like different shapes you want. Or for example, you want a flatter floor. You could do that as well with the AION V. Total space is 427 liters. You of course have your hooks. You got the light inside, and you also have a 12-volt socket. If you want to have more cargo space, you can fold down the seats 60/40, and you'll be able to get 978 liters of space. Check out the rear passenger interior of this GAC AION V. First off, look at this door. It opens almost 90 degrees, which makes ingress very easy, going in and out of the car. And then you have this very comfortable and luxurious seats. I love the leather here. Also, as you can see, there's already a nice tilt here for the rear passengers. However, if you want some more, you can tilt down the seats even further. Another cool feature is there's a hook here to basically hold down your seat belts. And then when you go inside, You find one of the roomiest interiors in any class with this amount of legroom, plenty of headroom as well. Another great feature of the Aion V is check out those air vents. They're not on the center console. They're placed on each side of the car, which means the passengers at the back don't have to fight over the air vent. That is very cool. You of course have one USB-A port with digital controls there. You have a pocket in front of you. You have your sunshade there. You also have the armrest here with 2 cup holders and even space for your phone. And then you even have this table, which means you can finish some work, you can watch a movie, have lunch, and I'm not even done yet.
One of the best features of the GAC AION V is the rest mode, where you can take a relaxing nap inside the car. It closes all the lights and shade and even wakes you up after 30 minutes. Even further, you can turn the whole interior into this giant bed. Imagine listening to your favorite music through the 9-speaker surround system. You can relax, your family can lounge with the AC open, and even better, you have this awesome fridge.
Alright, so this is the main event of the GAC AION V, is of course the driver's side here. So first off, the materials here is very luxurious and very nice to the touch. Even the door handle is soft close, so that's pretty awesome. All of the windows are one touch, and then you have full adjustments for height and reach for the steering wheel here. Your gear shift controls are here on the steering column, which means it opens up space here on the center console. We have one wireless charger, we have our 2 cup holders. This has a fridge, which means you could keep your drinks cool, and if you wanted, it also has a heating function, so you can keep, for example, your takeout warm. Underneath the center console, we have space for our bag. We don't have a glove box, however, we do have hooks here. Then we have this big vanity mirror. You have this very comfortable seats. This has a memory function and full electronic adjustments. Then this even has massaging seats. Okay, before we get to driving, let me show you a point of view look of the front driver side of the AION V. First off, check out the key fob here. It's nicely weighted. Then again, this is the steering wheel here, very nice to the touch. You have one button there for your voice control. Now controls wise, you can open the sunshade and various other controls there. You have a couple of custom buttons here. The design of the steering wheel is very minimal. So on the left side here, this is where you control your multimedia, and then here is where you control the 8-inch instrument cluster for all the functions, like for example displaying your range, displaying your tire pressures and whatnot. And then just like I said, take a look at the materials here. There's even like a window defogger there. We'll talk about the driver aids there in the later part of the video. Look at how the dash is actually a bit lower, which makes it very easy to see out. Of course, one of my favorite things here is this 14.6-inch infotainment display. Let me give you a quick walkthrough. I love that there's functions here, or the shortcuts here on the top right side, which means you could check out if there's any notifications. You could immediately launch, for example, Android Auto. Of course, this has wireless Apple CarPlay as well. Go back to the menu here. Now, the nice thing is while you're driving, you can actually press this button here, and a lot of the controls will be just on the left side. So you'll be able to control most of the functions on multimedia just by focusing on the left side of the vehicle. Then if we press that car icon right there, this is where most of the functions of the AION V are. So you have your controls for your window, you have your controls for your lighting system here, which by the way, does an excellent job. We of course have ambient lighting inside with, of course, all the colors you'll ever need. Then if you scroll down, we have our headlight adjustment there. A couple of functions. For example, you have a reading lamp auto on there. Then if you go to the smart cabin, this is where you basically set your memory functions for your seat. Then we have ventilated seats, whether you want it cold, you want it hot. These are the seat massage functions that you can choose. So you can either have for, a gentle, standard, or strong, and then the various other setups here if you want to focus on the back relax and so forth. Then you have this dedicated button when unlocking the car. Then let me show you the cameras here outside. Those are extremely sharp. You have your 3D display, if that's what you want. You have a wide angle look, if that's what you want. And then let's go to the AC controls here. Press that and take a look at the menu here. Very easy to understand.
Under the hood, the AION V has a permanent magnet synchronous motor that powers the front wheels. You get 165 kilowatts and 240 Newton meters of torque for the premium variant. 0 to 100 is at 7.9 seconds with a top speed of 160 kilometers per hour. This rides on McPherson independent front suspension and a torsion beam at the back. Battery wise, this has GAC's ultra safe magazine 2.0 tech with a 75 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate battery, which has bullet protection, IP67 rating, and more. Safety wise, the AION V has a 5-star China and Euro NCAP rating with its 7 airbag and over a dozen of safety features. Finally, this has GAC's Adigo intelligent driving system such as adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, and more. And yes, a GAC app will be available soon.
So I've been driving this GAC AION V for about 4 days now. So let me start off with the ride. The ride of this is just right. It's not too floaty, it's not too soft, or it's not too firm. My kids love the ride, especially that legroom at the back. My wife and I love these massaging seats. And for me, one of the most important things is, how does it work on a day-to-day basis? I took my kids to school, I went out for errands, and we love this. This is just a great family car. And especially NVH, this does an excellent job because of the 4mm thick glass over here. This does have a driver monitoring system, but the biggest difference of this is it's just set up just right, that it's not too strict. Sure, it gives you the bells and the dings and warns you over cars around you, if you're about to hit somebody in front, or if you're parking. I would rather have that because, for example, I'm gonna have my wife or my daughter drive this. I think I would definitely prefer that. Also, this has a 5-star NCAP rating, and that's pretty awesome. And then finally, I want to talk about one of the biggest differences of GAC versus all Chinese manufacturers. The thing with GAC is they do know a thing or two about driving. Many years back, if you're going to be choosing a Chinese car, and specifically a Chinese EV car, they all felt like washing machines, they felt numb, they lacked any sort of driver engagement, but not GAC cars. I know, because one of my dream cars that I actually bought last year was the GAC AION V, and I love that car. I absolutely adore that car. There's even one of our team members who, on the other hand, has a GAC M Zoom. He too also loves his car. Probably because they've been building so many cars from other manufacturers that they were able to figure that out and Even today, some Chinese car manufacturers still have trouble really tuning in everything in order to make a car fun to drive, have a little bit of soul, and really just be an enjoyable driving experience. This GAC AION V has more than enough driver engagement for a family car. This is not a slow car either. 0 to 100 at 7.9 seconds. For example, if you want to use the ADAS systems of this, I tried this on stop and go bumper to bumper traffic, and just like my GAC MPOW, very confident. You can rely on it, and as long as the conditions are ideal, it will do just fine. You know, I just bought an EV about 6 months ago, and the thing there is, after a while, the range anxiety really goes away, and then 600 kilometers, that is more than enough to go from Quezon City to Baguio and back, and then you could even go to Laguna if you really wanted to, if you really wanted to push it. It gives you peace of mind that that sort of range is going to take you a while for you to, run out of range. And that's why this GAC AION V really has a very unique and very strong list of features. And, it also drives really well. Make no mistake, guys, this GAC AION V is going to be tough to beat. Its competitors are gonna have to throw a lot of stuff to top this. So my suggestion is to head on over to your nearest GAC dealership and give it a test drive. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you liked this video. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Visit our website at testdrive.com.ph. My name is Paul. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.